Hello and welcome to Threefold Herbal Healing. I'm Herbalist Liol Sade. I help people who I like to say feel sick and tired of being sick and tired. People who struggle with chronic condition for really some years, sometimes decade, before they come to me and I help them grow their health from the roots up. In July, I'm going to speak about liver and liver health. And before I speak about what can go wrong with the liver and how to support the liver for detoxing and for liver disease, I would like to set the stage. Just describe what is the liver, how it functions, and how you can support basic liver function as a preventative step. So the liver is known as an alchemist of the body. It converts toxins, it filters the blood, it stores nutrients, and it produces bile and cholesterol. 75% of what enters the body through the skin, the digestive tract, or the lungs is processed in the liver. The rest is dealt by the lining of the small intestines. The liver is the second largest organ in the body after the skin. It weighs around 3 pounds and it sits on the upper right side of the abdomen below the diaphragm and above the stomach. It is about the size of a football, but it is hollow. It's not hollow like a football. Instead, it is dense with many blood vessels and storage room for nutrients. So if you ever ate liver like beef liver, chicken liver, duck liver, you know that this is a very dense organ. There are two blood vessels that shuttle blood into the liver. One is the hepatic portal vein that carry deoxygenated blood, so blood it doesn't have oxygen in it, but it's high in nutrients, in vitamins, and in toxins. And that carries blood from the small intestines to the liver. The other blood vessel that reaches the liver is the hepatic artery. The hepatic artery carries oxygenated blood, so this is blood rich with oxygen from the heart to the liver. So let's talk about the hepatic portal vein, what it is, what does it bring to the liver. So once you digest your food, all the blood from your digestive tract is sent to the liver through the hepatic portal vein. We are talking about a liter of blood shuttled to the liver every minute. Quite a lot of blood. As soon as blood enters the liver, the blood vessels that carry it begin to divide into finer and finer vessels, so smaller and smaller blood vessels until they become like tiny thin capillaries that leak blood into the hepatic cells. In the hepatic cells, the liver metabolizes all the compounds that are dissolved in that blood. The blood carried to the liver contains all the nutrients from your food, including that cup of latte you ordered on your way to work, or the glass of wine that you ordered on your date. By the way, are you one of those people who immediately after drinking a cup of coffee feel the effect of caffeine? Or do you feel woozy after only one glass of wine? That's how I react to coffee and alcohol, which tells me that I should stay away from them. My liver is sluggish, meaning it takes some time for my liver to process alcohol and caffeine. Therefore, caffeine and alcohol stay in my system longer, which lead to this woozy, lightheadedness effect. If you're not drinking alcohol or wine frequently, but one day you decide to indulge yourself with a large cup of latte or a bottle of beer, you might not have the enzyme in your gut to break down the drink that you just drank. The saying, you don't use it, you lose it, totally applies here. On the other hand, if you drink alcohol and caffeine regularly, not every single day, but regularly, and still feel their effect like I do, then your liver is sluggish. Your ability to metabolize coffee and alcohol in the liver is largely determined by genetics. You're either born with an efficient liver or a sluggish liver. You can support your liver with diet and herbs to improve its metabolic capacity. Alongside the nutrients from your food and drinks, the blood from the small intestine also carries toxins. We are talking about exotoxins such as herbicides, pesticides, pharmaceuticals, stuff that come from the outside, as well as endotoxin, including hormones that your body produces, that they did what they needed to do and now you want to get rid of them. Waste products from metabolic processes, dead cells, dead viruses, dead bacteria, toxins that your body creates as part of its normal function. Now let's talk a little bit about the hepatic artery. The hepatic artery carries oxygenated blood from the heart to the liver. The liver, being a large organ containing many, many cells and performing about 500 different functions, required a lot of energy. Liver cells contain between 1,000 to 2,000 mitochondria organelles in each cell. Mitochondria, to remind you, is the organ of the cell that creates energy. The cells need energy in order to function, and mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell where said energy is created. Having 2,000 or 1,000 to 2,000 mitochondria in each cell means that it's a lot more than most other cells in the body. Higher energy needs means that you need more nutrient and more oxygen in order to fuel the fire that keep the liver running. So a lot of mitochondria creating a lot of energy to fuel this system that does what it does for you. About 25% of the blood that leaves your heart with each heartbeat is going to the liver. That is about half a liter of oxygenated blood every minute, a lot of blood. So all this energy is going to the liver. That means that the liver is doing something very important for you. So what are the things that the liver is doing for you that are so important that the body is willing to invest all this energy in the liver? The liver performs about 500 functions, and I'm not going to name all of them here. I'm just going to shed light on the most important one. And those you can sum up with 3 words: production, storage, and detoxification. So let's talk about production. The liver produces several compounds that are essential for the body. First and foremost, it's bile. Bile that the liver produces emulsify fats and support fat absorption. Bile works like dish soap to break fat molecule into small droplet that then can bind to fiber and eliminated from the body or absorbed in the body. Bile gives your poop its color. If your poop is pale, your liver doesn't produce enough bile. Another sign of low bile production is feeling nauseated after eating fats. The liver also produces cholesterol. Cholesterol is essential for forming healthy cell membranes. You know, every cell of your body has a membrane that encloses the cell, and those cell membranes are made with cholesterol. It is also essential for producing steroid hormones like cortisol, the stress hormone, but also your sex hormones, estrogen, testosterone, progesterone. All of them are made with cholesterol as their backbone. So it's really important that your liver produce enough cholesterol. The liver packs the cholesterol in what we call LDL. It's a name of a package, and sends it all over the body so it can do what it needs to do, create the cell membrane, create the hormones where they are needed. But there is a silver lining there. In insulin resistance, in overweight, when you have too much fat, too much cholesterol happening, then you have increased LDL. And when you have increased LDL in your bloodstream, there is a risk of the LDL getting oxidation and inflammation, which lead to heart disease. So you want enough cholesterol in your body for the hormones, for the cell membranes, for the function that LDL, cholesterol and LDL does for you. But you don't want too much. That's important thing to follow. Another compound the liver produces is blood clotting factors, which is blood clotting. When you get a wound, you want the blood to clot. You want to stop bleeding. And for that, the liver needs vitamin K. Lucky for us, vitamin K is stored in the liver, which is very efficient. You don't need to shuttle it from somewhere else. Another thing that happens in the liver is vitamin D. So we do absorb vitamin D through the skin, but the vitamin D that we absorb through the skin is not active, and it needs to be activated. It is activated in the liver and in the kidney. So it doesn't produce the vitamin D, but it's activated. What about storage? What does the liver store? The liver is a storage site for macronutrient from the food we eat, as well as for vitamin. That's especially true for fat-soluble vitamins such as vitamin A, E, D, and K, as well as some of the B vitamins that are water-soluble, iron, and copper. The liver and the skeletal muscles are the storage units for glucose. Glucose is your energy fuel, like what fuel the energy production in the body. When those storage units are full because of overconsumption, glucose will convert into fat. Additionally, the liver stores the fat from your food. So, did you eat avocado toast this morning? The liver will take that avocado and store that very healthy fat in your liver. Now, when the fat you store in your liver is in normal amounts, that's healthy. When you overconsume and you have too much fat in your liver, you might end up with non-alcoholic liver disease. The liver serves as one of the body's primary blood reservoirs, so it stores excess blood in the liver, which can store 10 to 15% of total body blood volume. Because of that, it plays a crucial role in regulating blood volume, which end up to be how much blood you have in your blood vessels and kind of balancing your blood pressure. Another important and well-known function of the liver is the detox. That is the most known function of the liver. Detox happens during the night and is dependent on deep sleep. So, are you partying all night? That means that your detox is compromised, especially if you party with alcohol. The liver removes all toxins from the bloodstream, including those that you ingest, those that you absorb through the skin, and waste product from the body's everyday function. Now, when the liver detox, it does it through a couple of channels. One channel is to mix the stuff that it can mix with bile and send the bile into the small intestines, and then that sends to the colon, and you poop it out. That's what's happened, for example, with antibiotics, specifically with penicillin. Everything else, including, toxin from the outside, toxins from the inside, steroid, all those must be chemically converted into water-soluble compound that the kidney can eliminate in the urine. For example, the liver converts the waste product from protein breakdown into urea that can be eliminated in the urine. So when you eat that steak, the liver takes the waste product from breaking down the steak, turn it into urea, and the urea is eliminated in the urine. Now, when we talk about liver detox, we are talking about a process that has two stages. The stage 1 or phase 1 typically involve bombarding the toxins with enzymes and adding an ion to them, which make them unstable or very reactive. What we get is a free radical, an electron that spins around a cell. So you have this electron that wildly go around the cell, and it can hit all kind of things around it, including DNA. In that case, it can cause damage to DNA and even lead to cancer. Some plants have learned how to tame the wild electron by binding it to their structure. We call those plants antioxidants. Fruits and vegetables are antioxidants. Adding fruits and vegetables in as many colors as possible to your diet is the best strategy for reducing the risk associated with free radicals. Now, some food and herbs can alter the phase 1 detox. Even half a cup of grape juice can decrease the phase 1 metabolism of certain medication, allowing them to remain in the body longer. So that means that if they stay in the body longer, it's like increasing dosage because they accumulate in the blood. Those medicines include blood thinners, blood pressure medication, statins, statin reduce cholesterol, and some psychiatrist antidepressants and anti-anxiety drugs. So you need to be careful when you use those meds with drinking grape juice because you don't want to prolong their activity or their lifespan in the blood. On the other hand, we have Sejong wort. Sejong wort actually accelerates metabolism of certain medication, which can cause them to be removed from circulation faster than you intend them to be in the blood. The most famous one is birth control. There are many, many stories about women who were recommended Sejong wort by an herbalist, by their neighbor, by a friend, for either depression or nerve pain, and found themselves pregnant a couple of months later because, even though they were on the pill, because the Sejong cleared the pill from the blood too fast before it actually did what it was intended to do. The intermediated compounds produced by phase 1 detox are often more toxic than the original toxins. So you really want phase 2 to happen. You don't want to stay with the free radical that came from phase 1 detox in your system because your body don't have the capacity to initiate stage 2 or phase 2 detox in the same pace as the phase 1. And what happens with a lot of detox protocol is they push for accelerated phase 1, and then you get stuck with a phase 2 that can really work in the same phase. So you don't want to push phase 1 because you don't want to get stuck with those highly toxic compounds. So phase 2 depends on nutrients you get from your food. So you want nutrient-dense diet. There are 3 cycles in phase 2, and some foods that enhance phase 2 detox are vegetables from the cruciferous family, such as broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprout, and kale, as well as vegetables from the Liliaceae family, including garlic and onion. And that is because those vegetables are very high in sulfur, that is important for phase 2 detox. Phase 2 liver detox results in water-soluble compounds that the kidney can eliminate, and that's kind of finish the process of detox. So I hope I did convince you that the liver is crucial for your health, that it does important job for you. There is no need for a specific detox protocol to support a healthy liver. You just need to trust your body. I mean, your liver developed over millions of years. It's not like you need to push it in order for it to do its job. It knows what to do. Instead, you want to stick to a strategic plan of growing your health from the roots up, which means including eating a nutrient-dense diet, a lot of fruit and vegetables in as many colors as you can. You want to reduce your exposure to toxins. You don't want processed food because it's rich with additives and preservatives and chemicals. So why let that come in your body and increase the toxic overload of your body, on your liver? And you want to align yourself with the liver circadian cycle. You want to eat light meals in the evening when the liver is slowing down and get a good night's sleep, so the liver can actually do what it needs to do. I hope this was very beneficial for you. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them. Just drop them in the comment. Let me know what you think, what's your question. I promise I will answer them. That's from me from today, but on the next 3 weeks, we are going to talk about liver condition and how to support your liver in different capacities. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and have a good week.